All right, I need you to stop and listen to this right now. Because if you have a belly that keeps pushing out, the kind you thought was just normal belly fat, I have to be honest with you, that is not normal fat. That is what doctors call visceral fat, and it is sitting deep inside your abdomen right now, wrapping around your liver, your kidneys, your heart, and your intestines. A study from Harvard University that followed over 350,000 people found that people with high levels of visceral fat had a 73% higher risk of early death compared to those with a normal waistline, even when their overall body weight looked perfectly fine. Did you hear that? 73%. And what makes it even scarier is that this type of fat does not just sit there quietly. It works like a chemical factory inside your body, constantly pumping out inflammatory substances, clogging your blood vessels, and damaging your heart a little more every single day. But the good news is, today I am going to give you 10 ways backed by science to burn exactly this type of dangerous fat. And the best part is, you do not need to be an athlete or go on some extreme starvation diet to do it. Stay with me. Tip number 1, do the ketogenic diet. All right, let's start with the first one, and also one of the most powerful ones I know, and that is the ketogenic diet. Now, I know a lot of you have already heard that name, and you might be thinking, oh, great, another trendy diet. But no, this is not some passing fad. This is how your body was literally designed to burn fat. Let me explain it in the simplest way possible. Normally, your body runs on sugar from carbohydrates and starches, kind of like a car running on gasoline. But when you cut your sugar and starch intake down very low, roughly under 50 grams per day, your body switches over to burning fat for fuel instead. And the fat it burns first is visceral fat, the most dangerous kind we just talked about. The keto diet means you eat plenty of healthy fats like eggs, chicken, salmon, avocado, and olive oil, a moderate amount of protein, and almost no bread, rice, or sugar. It might sound hard at first, but once you get used to it, you will find yourself feeling full longer and craving sweets a lot less. And the best part is you do not need to obsessively count every single calorie. You just need to focus on cutting down on starches and sugar. Tip number 2, do intermittent fasting. Next, I want to talk about something I think absolutely anyone can do, and that is intermittent fasting. And the moment I say the word fasting, I know some of you are already raising an eyebrow. But hear me out first, because this is not about starving yourself. It is simply about changing the window of time during which you eat each day. The simplest method I usually recommend is the 16 and 8 approach, meaning you only eat within an 8-hour window each day, for example, from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening, and for the rest of the time you just drink water, black coffee, or unsweetened tea. During those 16 hours of fasting, your body has no sugar left to burn, and it automatically switches to burning stored fat, especially visceral fat. A study from Brigham and Women's Hospital at Harvard University found that people who did intermittent fasting for 12 weeks lost up to 16% more visceral fat compared to the group that followed a regular diet without fasting. And the great thing is you do not have to jump straight to 16 hours. You can start with 12 hours and gradually work your way up. Your body adapts faster than you think. Tip number 3, improve sleep. Now we come to the one that most people overlook the most, and that is sleep. I know you might be thinking, what does sleep have to do with belly fat? But it actually has a lot to do with it. When you do not get enough sleep or your sleep quality is poor, your body produces more of a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and when it stays elevated for a long time, it tells your body to store fat, especially right around your midsection. On top of that, poor sleep increases your appetite, particularly cravings for sweet and fatty foods late at night. That is why, after a bad night of sleep, you often find yourself reaching for things that are not so good for you. So what do you need to do? Try to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Turn off your phone and TV at least 30 minutes before bed, because the blue light from screens tricks your brain into thinking it is still daytime and makes it harder to fall asleep. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Somewhere around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. And try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. These small things sound simple, but their impact on belly fat is genuinely significant. Tip number 4, fix your gut issues. Okay, this one might sound a little strange, but stay with me because this is one of the most overlooked factors when it comes to belly fat. Inside your gut right now, there are trillions of bacteria living there, and those bacteria directly affect how your body processes food and stores fat. When your gut bacteria fall out of balance, too many bad bacteria and not enough good ones, your body tends to store more fat, especially visceral fat. You can recognize the signs of a troubled gut if you frequently deal with bloating, a distended stomach, constipation, or diarrhea. To improve your gut health, there are a few very simple things you can start right away. Eat more high-fiber vegetables like broccoli, carrots, and dark leafy greens. Add fermented foods like plain, unsweetened yogurt, pickles, or kimchi to your meals because they contain naturally occurring good bacteria. And most importantly, stay away from sugar and processed foods because those are the favorite food source for the bad bacteria in your gut. Tip number 5, reduce stress. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. Where is your stress level right now in your daily life? Because chronic stress, the kind that drags on day after day, is one of the most silent drivers of visceral fat buildup. When you are stressed, your body releases cortisol. And as I mentioned earlier, consistently high cortisol is a direct ticket to belly fat. The good news here is you do not need to meditate for 2 hours a day or do anything complicated. The simplest things are actually the most effective. Try taking a 15-minute walk in nature every day because that has been shown to meaningfully reduce cortisol levels. Spend time with the people you love because social connection genuinely helps your body relax at a biological level. Try 5 minutes of deep breathing every morning. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds. Sounds almost too simple, right? But neuroscience has shown that this breathing technique can lower cortisol in your bloodstream within just a few minutes. You do not need to eliminate stress from your life entirely because that is impossible, but you need to learn how to manage it before it manages your body. Tip number 6, fix existing health conditions. This is something that I, as a doctor, feel I really need to say straight to you. If you have health conditions that are not being properly treated right now, things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, or thyroid problems, those things are quietly making your visceral fat harder to burn and easier to accumulate every single day. When your body is busy fighting illness, it falls into a state of chronic inflammation, and chronic inflammation drives visceral fat storage. This is not something you can fix on your own just through diet and exercise alone. My advice is to go see your doctor and get a comprehensive blood panel done if you have not done one recently. Specifically, get your blood sugar, your lipid levels, and your thyroid function checked. Knowing where you stand is the single most important first step. Properly treating your underlying conditions not only helps you feel better overall, but also creates the conditions your body needs to burn fat far more efficiently. Think of it as clearing the foundation before you build the house. Tip number 7, correct any liver problems. Now, here is one that very few people know about but is critically important, and that is the health of your liver. The reason I bring it up here is that your liver and visceral fat have a very tight two-way relationship. When your liver is not functioning well, it cannot process fat and toxins efficiently, and that is when fat starts accumulating around your internal organs. And on the flip side, having too much visceral fat puts pressure on your liver and can lead to fatty liver disease. This is a bad cycle that you need to break. Alcohol is the #1 enemy of your liver, so if you are drinking regularly, cut back or stop altogether. Fructose, the type of sugar found heavily in sodas and packaged fruit juices, is also something that causes fatty liver very quickly. Instead, drink more water and eat more cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cabbage because they support your liver's natural detox processes. And if you suspect your liver might have a problem, ask your doctor to check your liver function at your next blood test. Tip number 8, reinforce your genes. Okay, this is the part where I see a lot of people use as a reason to give up, and that is genetics. Oh, everyone in my family is overweight, so I guess that is just how it is for me. I understand that feeling, but modern science has made it very clear that your genes are not your destiny. Yes, some people do carry genes that make them more prone to storing visceral fat, but the fascinating thing is that your lifestyle choices can actually turn those genes on or off. Science calls this field epigenetics, and it is revolutionizing the way we understand health. A study from the Karolinska Institute in Sweden showed that just 6 weeks of exercise and dietary changes produced measurable shifts in the way fat storage-related genes express themselves in the human body. So, what does that mean for you? It means that no matter what genes you were born with, the choices you make every single day about what you eat, how you sleep, and how you move are actively changing how your body works at the deepest level. You have far more control than you think. Tip number 9, improve insulin resistance. This is what I consider to be the central key to the entire visceral fat story, and I want to explain it in the most straightforward way I possibly can. Insulin is a hormone your pancreas releases every time you eat sugar or starch. Its job is to open the door of your cells so that sugar can get in and provide energy. But when you have been eating too much sugar for too many years, your cells start ignoring insulin's signal. It is like when a noise is too loud and too constant, you eventually stop hearing it. At that point, your pancreas has to pump out more and more insulin just to get the job done. And high insulin is the single strongest signal telling your body to store visceral fat. To improve your insulin sensitivity, you need to do exactly the things we have already talked about. Cut back on sugar and starches, do intermittent fasting, exercise regularly, and get enough sleep. Beyond that, apple cider vinegar diluted in water and taken before meals has been shown in some studies to naturally help improve insulin sensitivity as well. It is one of the simplest low-cost tips you can try starting today. Tip number 10, exercise. And last but absolutely not least, we have exercise. A study from the Cleveland Clinic that followed over 2,000 people between the ages of 55 and 75 found that those who brisk walked for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, lost up to 14% more visceral fat than the group that dieted without exercising, even though the total weight lost by both groups was nearly the same. That tells you that exercise attacks visceral fat directly through its own mechanism, completely independent of how many calories you burn. In addition to walking, you should also add in a little strength training. You do not need a gym for this. You can do it right at home with things like sit-to-stand chair squats, wall push-ups, or light dumbbell work. More muscle means your body burns calories even while you are sitting still, and that is the secret most people have never been told. You do not need to do all 10 at once. Just start with 2 or 3 that feel the most doable for you and slowly add more from there. Every small step you take is sending a signal to your body that you are taking care of it, and your body will respond in kind. If this video was helpful to you, please share it right now with someone you love so they can learn how to protect their health from this dangerous type of fat too.